Jurassic World Evolution 2 has all this space, but I'm only using this square. 4x4 maximum fence lengths, and I'm going to test if I can build the tiniest, prettiest park and get 5 stars. If you want to see me tackle this micro park challenge with all dinosaur and park building requirements turned on, you should check out this past video instead. Because for this go around, I'm going to use my preferred sandbox settings. So all we need is an entrance, a hatchery, a hotel, amenities, attractions, and I'm putting in an aviary too, for aesthetics. I've built a lot of parks in Jurassic World Evolution 2 over the past 3 years, but this is the smallest ever. Let's see how it goes. I have done a lot of puzzling before hitting record, because obviously you have to figure out a way to get all of the buildings in here that we need, but we want it to look pretty. And I think I found a way to fit everything in here and end up with something that still looks aesthetically pleasing, which is kind of the goal of the challenge this time around. So I'm gonna place this one right here, and yeah, I basically have like I have a plan, which is not always the case. Actually, it's very rarely the case, but I needed to go into this with a plan. So I'm gonna do this. Make sure that we get it right at the corner there. Okay, so obviously we need our hatchery, our entry points. Check, double check. One of the biggest things is a hotel. I'm gonna chuck that into the corner here. You don't want to waste any space this time around. I say that. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm still gonna be wasting space because it's kind of what I do. But we're gonna waste space cleverly. Maybe, allegedly. Okay. I'm assuming that the medium ones are gonna be big enough for this teeny tiny park, and I hope that that's gonna work out. Okay, so that's all connected. And now for the aviary, which is not the most efficient use of space. That has to be said, but I think this goes a long way in making it look more interesting. I think I had it about like that. This leaves me enough space, I hope. I mean, yeah, for as small of a park as this is gonna be, I think that's enough. Alright, and then I'm attaching this thing. Okay, so the idea I had for the restaurant, because you know, I have shop and drink over here, but for the restaurant, I wanted to do something different. I want to create the illusion that the restaurant is part of the viewing gallery. So, you know, people can come to eat and they can sit in here and eat their overpriced stuff, drink their overpriced burgers, and look into the aviary. Now, obviously, that requires a bit of imagination, but that's kind of what we do over here. That's how we roll. Which color am I going to go for? I think I'm going to use a combination of brown and facility path. All right, is this... that's always the question. Is this idea going to work? It might not. Okay, so that perfectly fits. That's good. Hold on. As always, we hide the back of the building. That's more important than ever. Now, that's unfortunate, but I think this is gonna be wasted space anyway. Ooh, could we fit the toilet in here? No. Not even close. What we could do is, you know, have a pretend toilet. And really what I do is just, yeah, pretend that the building continues. Now, this is what I mean. We are gonna be wasting space here. Clearly, right? But... I feel like it's a sacrifice we have to make. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I did not... Oh, wow. I wish there was a way for me to fill this in so it looks more like it actually has a roof. Am I gonna do something crazy here? I think I am. I think it's the most convincing way for me to create a roof, though, I guess. Because again, we're pretending that the restaurant is connected to the viewing gallery, right? So we have to do something. So yeah. That's a total waste of space, but I think it had to be done. Can we fit a tree? You know, my favorite trees sort of hide some of this nonsense. Yeah, that also goes a long way. It's not, you know, it's not perfect, obviously. But if we squint and if we want to believe, this is how we're gonna roll. This is our restaurant, and she's doing it! She's doing it! She's customizing the building! What? The crowd goes wild! Alright, not too much, not too much. Let me first... Okay, so I want to have a small habitat in the corner. can get that a teeny tiny bit closer. Again, that's very important this go around. There, so this is gonna be a habitat, and to sort of make that clear for all involved. There, I'll do it like that. Something, you know, something small is gonna go in there. Maybe 2 small species. Something I really need to do before I forget is this. There, this is temporary. So what I have in mind is for this to be like a butterfly gardens, and you already know we're gonna use the Jailopters for that. And that's not the best way to use the small space going for 5 stars, right? Because it's not like, I don't think we score a lot of points with Jailopterus, but I think it's cute use of the space. All right, so we're gonna make the little butterfly bats, and I'll just randomize it so we get a lot of color variation. It's just gonna be a nice colorful habitat. 7, is that gonna be enough? Let's make it an even 10. Now, for the interior, something I had planned is I don't just want my guests to be looking at them from this, you know, pretend extension of the restaurant. I also want them to be able to get in there, and we're gonna achieve that by putting doors on the aviary. I mean, I think that makes most sense. Have it over there, because we have quite a bit of space there. There you go. We can just delete that. And then we can turn this into an entry point. Oh god, oh, the camera's being really weird. Oh no, I'm scrolling so aggressively right now. Let me in! It's not letting me in. What the hell is going on? I literally am just getting kicked out of the aviary. Okay, this is really pissing me off. How it keeps knocking me out. What the hell, man? Now, on the outside, I happen to know... Where are they? Over here. Yeah, okay, so not on the inside. On the outside, you can get here. See? Oh, that's lovely. See, Frontier, we love just clipping stuff. You know, it's kind of sad that the only thing in this game that clips are the dinosaurs, and the stuff we want to be able to clip, it just doesn't. Alright, we might be getting somewhere, and then at the edge, I think it will be cute to just do tables and chairs. Do these work? These work as well. What makes more sense? As if you can answer me. Maybe this, you know, and maybe instead of, maybe we just pretend that the umbrella is actually to prevent any Jailopterus droppings from ending up on, you know, whatever you might be putting on the table, like your food or something. See, I like it. The way they sit on... Good. Okay, yeah, there you go. I like that. I don't like that they're hovering, necessarily. Dr. Wu went too far. He put helium in the Jailopterus. I think that's our first habitat done. So, you can come in here. Oh, I do like that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, this is nice. Here, you can come into the butterfly garden. So the second habitat is going to be quite a lot more sizable, and it's going to be on this side, and we're just going to draw it. So it sort of goes in like a curve. Sort of like that. We might move the perimeter a little bit, but that's going to be there, the gist of it. So the white is all going to be guest section. But that's, I feel like, where you really get to beautify a park. And then these brown bits are going to be the habitats. You know what's kind of funny? I really thought that, you know, one of the takeaways from this video would be me recommending to you to do this yourself as well. Like, it's so much fun, you know, building a big park might not, you know... You might lack the motivation to build a big park, try something smaller like this, yada yada. I really thought that would be the takeaway, but honestly, what I'm experiencing right now is just so much frustration at the game because of all the things I want to do that it won't let me do. And that's because it's so small, you know? Because I'm forcing it to be so small. Okay, can I still get this all the way around? It looks like it. Good, good. So yeah, I can hide, you know, the big concrete wall of the aviary a bit, which is what I want. Ooh, I do realize something I did not leave space for. is a shelter. Now, I don't think you technically need a shelter. Oh, yeah. I think my subconscious noticed that. I don't think you technically need one to 5-star a park. And I guess at this point I'm banking on that indeed being the case. I guess we'll see. I'm pretty sure I've achieved 5-star ratings without shelters at some point, because it's really just about making money. I have now outlined the habitats because I need to test something, and that is if we can actually get to 5 stars with just the species that I had in mind. People are already complaining that they're, you know, not being, like, their needs are not being met with the buildings that we have, so I don't know, is 5 stars still possible? We'll see. So, what I wanted was Euteranus, Mors intrepidus as pretend Euteranus babies. I have Crichtonsaurus for in here, because, you know, they're actually very small, but they have pretty good ratings for as small as they are. And speaking of small, I also have the Microceratus. I guess technically I could put something bigger in here than Euteranus, but I feel like going like large, enormous theropod is a bit too much. And Euteranus has a high appeal. You know, if I chucked something like an Indoraptor in here, it would be even better in terms of appeal, but I don't think I want to go that route. My food coverage is 0. That's not right. Oh, this is still shopping. Okay. Hold on, but that's an easy fix. Might have to go back to the other time that I tried this and see which dinosaurs did I choose. I feel like I didn't use, I definitely didn't use the large amenities, 100%. What did I do differently there? Because spoiler alert, we did reach 5 stars. All right, let's fiddle with the configuration. Let's see. First of all, burgers and fries, because I want, that's not smart, is it? Hold on. Who are we pleasing? Pretty much everyone except, I don't know what that means. People on fire. We don't need to worry about pleasing the people who are on fire. Okay, the amenities are now optimized. They are full, and it's only 2 stars. Hold on, okay, so for the sake of testing, like obviously I can't be doing this for realsies, but I just want to see if it actually does fix the rating. Oh, it is starting to go up a bit more. Oh no, I have more amenity buildings. I have 5 amenity buildings. I have only 3 here. But if it's gonna like I can figure out how to add a shelter. I'm like in the bargaining phase. I can figure out how to add a shelter, but I can't figure out how to place 2 more amenities. But I mean, oh God, he wants me to have 10 species? Hold on, does the penalty is minus 523. Does the penalty go down if I just add 1 more species? So for example, what I could do, right, is here, add a Euteraptor as a teenaged Euteranus. That's something I could do. And obviously I could add more small species into the other habitat. So I'm thinking Homalocephaly. There, make a couple of those, see if that happens. Because I feel like I can chuck more in here.
5 minutes later.
The species variety penalty went up. It's higher now. How does that make sense? I have more species, but my variety penalty is higher. You can tell I don't usually concern myself with getting to 5 stars. It typically happens by accident when I build parks. I don't pay attention to it. Keep in mind, this is with the shelter, right? So we still need to, like, I'd have to cut off basically the end of the habitat. I guess if I do that, I can add the extra amenities as well. I think the visibility problem is also a real problem. And I think the easiest way to fix that, like this thing in here somehow, somewhere. Again, this is just a test, right? Again, we're gonna be cutting off, hold on, is that something I can do right now? It's something I can do right now. What I'm basically playing with is just cutting off this entire section. Maybe even a little more, sorry. Move all of this over. I could even add extra buildings that way. But yeah, this is the extra space I can get. Okay, I think if I do this ergonomically, I can fit these guys in here as well. So that would be what we're working with. Food is red here, even though this is a restaurant. I guess because it's at max capacity? Yeah, I don't wanna butcher it, because okay, personally, and that's just my opinion, I feel like I've discovered here that my idea of a beautiful park and a 5-star park at this scale don't go together. I think that's my takeaway from this. And my reaction to that is I prefer to build a pretty park over a park that the game says is 5 stars. Actually, I know that I'm just gonna proceed. I'm gonna go back to my last save and I'm just gonna proceed making the prettiest tiny park that I possibly can. And all of these sacrifices still wouldn't get me to 5 stars. So I'm gonna undo all of those. I'm just gonna focus on making a pretty park. Because I'm pretty certain that you can make this work, but you have to sacrifice the pretty. You know, you'd have to sacrifice the aviary, because the aviary isn't doing much for this park, right? So you'd have to sacrifice that, and that's an easy way to get to the 5 stars, I think. But I don't want to do that. I choose, you know, in the battle of form versus function, I do live by the phrase form over function. So that's what I'm gonna go with. And thus begins my task to make this park as pretty as I possibly can to compensate for the fact that I failed the other half of this micro park challenge, which was to get it to 5 stars. Like I said, I feel like my idea of a beautiful park and the game's idea of a 5-star park just happened to be mutually exclusive at this scale. But I do think it is possible to get to 5 stars at this size, with these sandbox settings at least. So if you want to see me try again and this time focus on getting the star rating, hit the subscribe down below and join us on Saturday while I'll be tackling this live on stream. Maybe you can help me out with some suggestions in the chat. And speaking of subscribers, the channel recently hit 250,000 subscribers, and to celebrate, I am hosting a new edition of Battle of the Builders, which is a park building competition all about form over function. If you want to enter the competition with a park build, check out the short that I'll link at the top, at least I should, and join my Discord linked in the description box down below. You have until October 19th to enter, and then I'm gonna make a video showcasing the winners and highlighting some honorable mentions. So it's gonna be a great video full of park building inspiration for console, PC vanilla, and PC modded, and we already have some amazing submissions, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm looking forward to seeing yours. Now, as I said earlier, as the game's hitboxes were testing me, I wasn't sure if I could recommend you to do a mini build like this as well, because the frustration was running high. But after placing a few hundred planters and such, I found my inner peace again, and I want to backtrack. I do think you should try a build like this. Maybe go a little bigger with it, but still. The game's almost 3 years old, which is wild. So if you're like me and you're struggling, you're like running low on ideas, and it's probably hard to start a whole new park and keep the motivation up throughout the build. A mini build that you can finish in a couple of hours and go really deep into the details is just a great way to open up the game again, have some fun with it, without putting the pressure on you to build like a park that you need to sink 100 hours or something like that into. And I absolutely love how this tiny park turned out, in spite of the fact that it failed to get 5 stars. You know what? Screw the game. Screw the game. Let me know in a comment down below, what star rating would you give this park? You know, considering how small it is, let's be a little bit forgiving about that. But what would you rate this park? Give a star rating down below. Allow me to give you a mini tour of this mini park. So we've just arrived via the entrance tunnel, and straight ahead we have the aviary, for which I've sacrificed the 5 stars, I think, is basically what happened. We look out into the habitat over there, but first I want to look into the aviary. And of course, these are our butterfly gardens. So if we pop in here, we have this nice view. Remember that this is supposed to be an extension of our restaurant, so you would come sit here, drink your overpriced burgers, and just enjoy the sights of the butterflies flying around, and there would also be guests walking around inside here. And then if we come back out, we can have a rest on the benches surrounding the fountain, or we can go ahead and we can look into this habitat. So we have our fluffy Uteranus looking beautiful, and the teeny tiny Mors intrepidus are their pretend babies. You can see one walking around there. Are we gonna see something interesting? No. Thought maybe they were gonna do something. Okay, so through the Jurassic Park gates. Again, just on, you know, on one side we have the aviary, but it's nicely obscured by foliage, and it's lined with walls and decorations. And on this side, it's just, we have this entire wall looking out into the Uteranus habitat. And, you know, this wall, this brick wall, is to keep the guests over here, but there's invisible fencing and a bit of a rock barrier on the other side. So, you know, it all works out. It all works out. I really like the waterfall in the distance there. All right, so we continue on. There's a small garden, and behind the garden we have our amenities. You can have a little sit here. There is, of course, the viewing gallery tucked in the back. It's very busy here, very popular. We can go in here as well. There you go. That's a pretty nice view. Oh, and by the way, I don't think I addressed this, but the idea behind, you know, leaving the hatchery attached and visible is that, you know, there will be like feeding shows. So, you know, they would release maybe a Homalocephale, maybe a Drysaurus to feed the Uteranus. I keep getting letters from PETA, I don't know why. We're gonna continue on. So, we have some more amenities, we have the hotel, and what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go into the aviary. You know, we're gonna go into the butterfly garden. More benches to rest your legs. And there you go, aviary. I'm gonna pop off to the side here. The door's open for us, and I do quite like that. That's not bad. So yeah, I'm personally happy with my decision to just stick with the aviary. I think this looks cool. So yeah, our guests would walk in here. Oh, they can get up close with the Jailopters having a nap. They can have a sit. Again, this would be an extension of our restaurant. Use your imagination. Little Jailopters floating there. Alright, and now we're gonna leave the aviary, and we have one more habitat to look at with our small herbivores. Doors open. Coming on through, we have this entire wall lined with these decoration pieces. Again, aviary is surrounded by foliage, more benches, and now we look into the Crichtonsaurus / Microceratus habitat, which is just, you know, a nice peaceful habitat to look into. There, the Microceratus, you can just barely see them. You can barely see them through the grass. More seating opportunities. Yeah, I like how this turned out. I really like it. Here's our restroom. And exclusive to our staff, we have this section off to the side. You know, red banners means don't come in here, guests. What were you just doing? Why did you just come out of there? You have no business being here. So yeah, it goes behind the entrance. You have some supplies. And you walk back here, you have more supplies, you gotta have those supplies. And then all the way at the back, you have the access to the hatchery. So that's our mini park. Stick around for the cinematics and hit the subscribe for more content on Jurassic World Evolution 2, Jurassic World Evolution 3, Jurassic World Rebirth, and so much more. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game.